both of you, how would you say the team spirits are at this point? You got a big win and now heading the home stretch of the season.
Yeah, I mean, after this weekend, we're obviously super excited that we swept K-State. We had to get that win back. So I think just going ahead, we're on the road this week and next, and I think it's really important matches, and I just think we take it game by game at a time. But yeah, we're super excited for it. So yeah.
That's good to hear. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we just want to keep learning and growing. Again, we put ourselves in a pretty good spot right now, to achieve some of our goals. And this is a four-match stretch on the road in really tough environments. I thought K-State, first time being there, it's a great gym. Crowd was awesome. Again, just super engaged with the rivalry. But K-State plays well there, and I think Utah, BYU, those are historically very tough places to get wins. And they're both really tough to beat there this year. So it'll be a great test for us. I really hope we're up to the challenge. Again, these midweek away games, teams tend to be pretty flat. And so this Wednesday match at Utah, I mean, we need to be able to bring our best, to be successful.
Katie, we've heard Matt talk about it a bunch, your preseason schedule and why you played those games and matches against those teams, where you played away from home, all that stuff. Here you are, I think, in second in the Big 12, right? I mean, did you guys believe that it was always going to kind of play out that way? Did you believe in his philosophy and vision for those are going to serve us well when we get into the meat of our schedule, or was that hard to see? And
you can be honest.
Yeah,
you can be honest.
Honestly, like preseason, it was really hard being on the road the whole time, but I think we just kept reminding ourselves, like, okay, this is for a reason. Like, we need to believe in Ulmer and what he's telling us. Like, this is preparing us for the tournament and these next road games because they have great crowds, and these teams play really well at home. So it was hard, obviously, during it, but I think we kind of kept reminding each other, like, okay, we're doing this for a reason. Like, he believes that this is going to help us in the future, and I think it has done us good so far. So, yeah.
Can you draw on that experience as you go into, I guess you're already in it, but another long stretch of a lot of road matches in a row without being to play Horsch?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll miss playing at Horsch because our fans are great, but I think we're more comfortable playing away games, and I think that just showed this past weekend against K-State. I mean, they sold out, and it's a huge rival game, so I think we'll be prepared with anything on these road matches.
Matt, it's been a few weeks since the Allen Fieldhouse match. Have you seen the...
Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah.
Well, you won recently, so sorry.
That's true.
But have you seen the fan support, that home momentum continue in the matches at Horsch since then?
I was really impressed by our crowd, actually, at Allen. Again, I think we sold 6,500 tickets. We had about 1,000 students. Again, we tried not to do much press. I just wanted to know organically, like, who was interested, who wanted to show up. And so I thought that was a pretty good showing. And then, I think, again, you lose that, so you don't know, you're going to lose some momentum. How are people going to feel? I think everybody's come back, and they've been with us. I think the important thing was that next week we had a road trip, West Virginia, Cincinnati, which is not an easy road trip to do. Probably the hardest road trip in the conference from a travel standpoint. And just, morale, you got to go bring it. They're good, good teams on the road again. And after that, we could have definitely had a little bit of a hangover, been in our feelings. But I thought we did a nice job on that. And I think if you're fans following us, then, you just chalk that K-State loss up to it was a bad night. And you just keep believing in what we're doing, and because that's what the team did. And so since then, right, we've had some nice matches, since that. And again, I think we're continually growing. So, hopefully it's just continuing in the trajectory where we can host again in the playoffs. That's what we would like to be able to do, and hopefully everybody's going to be behind us for that.
Do you feel confident about that potential, or how much have you looked at that at this point?
Every day. So, now, I mean, again, a big part of the scheduling piece, which is what we can control as our non-conference, is, again, you're trying to figure out a way to get it so that your RPI is going to be where it needs to be at the end, which it needs to be in the top 16 for us to be able to host. So the way I know, soccer got a host, which is amazing. I was trying to figure out how they do it, and so they have 32 host site, right, in that first round, which I think is really neat. But for us, it's 16, and then you host the first two rounds. which I think that'd have been pretty cool for them if they could host the first 2 rounds if they did it that way. And I think that's something we'll be able to do, and I know it's happened here at KU the last couple of years. But I think horse is such a great advantage. So if we can find a way to do that. But our RPI currently is 13. So we're in a pretty good spot. Again, we just have tough matches, and you just got to take care of business. So, if we continue to get better and do what we need to do, then I think our resume is pretty solid. But like I said, we got to do it. So
You said someone in position to achieve some of your goals.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's a big one of them. What else are you focused on right now in terms of goals?
Well, Team 1 to win the Big 12 championship, and again, we lost that 5-star to ASU. And the tough part with the way the conference is we don't get another shot at them, So already in that very first match of conference play, like it's out of our hands, and that's how it's turning out. ASU only dropped 1 match and we've dropped 3, so I don't foresee them losing, a couple. So that'll be tough, Again, we lost a couple 5-setters in conference, and that's the difference. But we want to be playing past what they've played in the past. So that means getting to that 3rd round again. So how do you put yourself in position to do that? Well, I think hosting would be helpful. And again, you got to meet a lot of goals to get to that point. So a lot of statistical goals, we're getting closer and closer. Our defense has been really high level, and it's been pretty consistent in that. Our offense still, we have great moments and poor moments. Even K-State's a great example. First set, 3rd set, world beaters. 2nd set looked like we forgot how to play. So we're just still not consistent enough on that side of the ball to really push in December how we're going to want to push. And again, we only have a couple weeks of practice left before that's that time. So we just need to keep pushing with every chance that we get.
Given the time frame, I think last time we saw you in here, you said flat out, we don't have enough offense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have enough now? Since then to now, it may not be quite where you want it, but do you feel like enough is a fair word?
She's nervous of what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I would say, Aisha's done a really nice job of giving us a boost. Again, Aurora's one of the best blockers in the conference. Putting Aisha in has given us some more offense, which I think we really needed. Again, it just makes us less predictable in a couple rotations. So I think that's a big answer for her. She's done a good job. Katie's doing a nice job setting her. So I think their relationship has grown there. So that's been big. Grace Nelson has really come on. Has had some great matches for us, and she's just figuring out how to make better choices. Limiting some of her errors while still getting a high number of kills is really what we need from her position. But yeah, we're going to be relying on Reese and Giovanna and Ryan Swanson, to score, especially in certain rotations. We need them to do that. And so the connection that Katie has with them is really important for us. We're one of the best passing teams in the country. We're playing great defense. We're going to get opportunities to score. We need people that want to put that away. So unfortunately, a lot of our practices are still working on offensive habits that I wish we, had locked in. We don't still have them locked in, but that's why I have a job, and I'm going to keep pushing them to do that. But again, Katie's doing a really nice job. I sometimes have to remind myself that this is her first year really running a 5-1, extended action. She's doing a great job. So we're going to have, ups and downs, but overall I think she's been pretty consistent.
Katie, what's your perspective on that? You know a lot of those girls. You've been around a lot of those girls that you have been with.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into the gym any night and think, we've got enough offense. I know your personality a little bit. I assume you do. But what is your perspective on where your offense is?
Yeah, from spring to now, they've grown so much. All of our hitters, Grace Nelson, she's made a huge jump, and it's just awesome to see. So I think obviously we have more room to grow, and it's definitely gone up from the beginning of the season, which is good. But yeah, like Ulmer said, we only have a couple practices left, and we're still working on our offense and different shots we can use. But I think reminding our players of all right, you have the drop tip, or you have deep corners. I think that helps them a lot and gets our offense going. So.
Hey Katie, what has that adaptation been like going from not playing much the first 2 years of your career to splitting time with Chris earlier this season and now where you're at now?
Yeah, it's just been a great journey, honestly, so blessed to be able to be a part of Kansas Athletics. And I would say just I came in wanting to play any position, versatile player. I was like, Coach B, put me anywhere to help the team. I'll do anything. But I think it's kind of a cool transition to be a right back DS, and I've been setting in practices every day, all day. So the transition from DS to running a 5-1 has been hard, but I think it's an awesome opportunity, and it's been super fun doing it. So, yeah.
Katie, how does a big block or an attack affect your setting?
Oh. I would just say, like, after that happens, I kind of just, all right, let's focus on the next ball. And I kind of talk to the hitters like, hey, you have this open, and I'm going to get you a ball. Like, I'm going to get you higher. And so I kind of help them with the success of that. So kind of just shake it off.
Coach, I had another question, too. 3 conferences in 3 years. What's your take on the Big 12 at this point?
Well, I actually think the Big 12 is probably the deepest, at least the snapshot in time, of the last few years with the Pac and the Big 10. The Big 10, you got Nebraska and Penn State last year, and more teams than that, that have been national champions. And that's a little bit different here in the Big 12, where we don't really have like that perennial national champion contender. But I think everybody's really pushing up. I think the coaching continues to get better. I think there's been a lot of great hires. I think there's been big investment into women's volleyball. I think you're seeing that. Again, I think we could get 10 or more teams in the tournament, which 10 is a record for any conference. So the fact that the Big 12 could do that this year kind of shows you what that's like. At one point we just had 8 teams in the top 25 in the RPI, and we're the number 1 RPI conference by a little bit now. I just think everybody's doing a really nice job. Something I got to get used to, or maybe we can look at, is our schedule. Again, just a lot of weekday matches. So to me, that's different. Some of those types of things, it's hard to practice plan. It's hard to maybe get better, I think, when you're not necessarily getting a lot of practice time together. So something maybe we can think about as a coaching group. But overall, I've really enjoyed it. A lot of new places. Food's been good. So it's been a good spot. But again, I really enjoy coaching against good coaches. And there's a lot of coaches that have made some really nice adjustments and have made some good schemes and game plans, and it's more fun for me personally, when you're playing against people that push you. So, I've enjoyed that.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, you were picked second preseason, is that right?
Yeah.
So you're there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you assess where you guys have been able to kind of live up to that with a hugely new influx of talent, a brand new coaching staff? I mean, that's not automatic, I don't think. I mean, are you feeling good about the position, not just for this season, but in your first year?
Yeah, I think if you look like totality, if you would have told me in the beginning, hey, at this point you'd be 13 in the RPI and you'd be second in conference, I'd say I'm pretty impressed with that. I don't think I saw that necessarily, that was going to be a given, right? Even though people picked us that, I was like, well, we have a lot of work to do to get there, I think was my response. And credit to these guys, they've put in the work. Again, you could see from the start of our season to now, even just what the lineup looked like, how we responded in situations, how we responded on the road to adversity. We've grown up a lot. I think maybe the thing I'm most proud of is that third set against K-State that just happened. Again, we were down 22-17 or something like that in the third set, and we were not doing well. It was just totally off rhythm, and they were starting to feel themselves, and the crowd was getting into it. And, we responded. We actually made a triple sub, and people were ready to come in off the bench and do something, which, again, it just felt like everybody was ready to do what the team needed. It didn't feel like anyone was trying to prove themselves like how it did when you're fighting for a spot early in the season. It felt like, no, this is what I need to do for my team. That was different, and they were ready for it. And then the double sub came back in, and I think it just gave Katie the breath that she needed and the rest of the group. And, we found a way. A bunch of people made plays to come back and win that. And I thought that was different for us. I would not have predicted that growth character-wise from the start of the season. So to me, that is something you have to have in December. That's something that we have to have. And, that's a good sign for us. Now, whether that's going to be our habit or not, I don't know, but I really appreciated seeing that. And I was really proud for them. And hopefully that's something that they'll remember for a long time.
You just had signing day, and you retained some recruits who were committed to the previous staff and
Mm-hmm.
brought some of your own. What was that process like, and how do you feel about the group that you acquired?
Yeah, the 3 recruits, so Taylor, Ryan, Jaylee, that were committed to Coach B before. They didn't wiggle at all. This is where they wanted to be, and so it was just a matter of they were nervous to make sure that we still wanted them. And no, they're fantastic. I think they're going to be great fits, culture-wise, athletically, big time. So I think there's just a lot of great things there. Good people, good families. And then Tessa and Avery were actually committed to us at Oregon. And then they went through their process. Tessa actually had been to Kansas camp multiple times, and this was the school she wanted to go to as far as where she actually wanted to be. So that worked out really well. So that was an easy decision for her. And then Avery kind of went back on the market and searched around and was down to us and another pretty good school in Red, and and chose us, which I thought was a big statement for our program and where we're going. So I think it's a great group. It's a huge ceiling group, athletically very talented. We're not the highest touching group in the gym right now, but all 5 of them can bring a lot more to the table that way. And we just need some arms and some more offense, as we've been talking about. So I think the 5 of them can be able to do that, plus continue to elevate the culture how we want it to be.